Welcome to episode 4 of our... What is this? Do-over bloopers. Welcome to episode 4 of our Cryptopolis. Goodness me, what is wrong with me this morning? Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of our Cryptopolis modded Minecraft playthrough. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I know I certainly have. This has actually been a really fun mod pack. Minus the little lava monster and strider situation from last episode, this has been really good stuff. The progression seems well balanced, I should say, right? Once you get to figuring it out, it feels good. And that's, I feel like, how any game should be. Now, today, since we finished pretty much all this first chapter stuff, we're going to be diving into Chapter 2, Sub-Chapter 1 of Chapter 2, however you want to label these. Unleash your creativity. Actually, I don't think it's creativity. There is no T on that back end, although I think there should be. Anyways, it all begins with this andesite alloy. This is what we're going to be diving into today is create, which is why we initially built this large platform to begin with, because we're going to need room for water wheels and moving parts and pieces. Most people should know create by now. It's a very popular mod. If you don't, however, that's quite alright. From what I've seen throughout the quest line of this mod pack thus far, a lot of it seems vanilla create, if that makes sense. Like, they haven't tweaked the recipes all too much, which is good. That means if you're learning it, it's probably a good place for you to start. Especially since Ben Law and Cryptic both do a really good job with their quest pack of explaining what this is used for, what it's going to do, you know? So, like, over here, moving the rotation, create a shaft. You can hold W to ponder, which some of this is also just sort of the create tutorials, I guess. But yeah, if you're ever unsure about something, you can watch the slideshow. Some things have next scenes where you can sort of see more stuff. So like this, you can put in casings. Yeah. Anyways, if you're missing something, check that out. If you already know what you're doing, then hey, that's great too. We're going to start by creating ourselves some iron here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then what we need to do is throw it all in there. Now we have all the iron we need to create those alloys that we saw there. We're going to need andesite and iron nuggets. Then we can get these andesite alloys. So there we go, there's 32 of them. Now these are going to combine into shafts. We're not going to keep jumping into the quest pack because I already know how to do this. So that's going to be 8, 16, 24, let's go 32. Okay. Then it's going to say, chance, you need to make a cogwheel, right? Oh wait, is it just 2? Oh, that's the large one. What? Is it just one for a small? One for a small. Okay. So there we go. Extra large gears, extra small gears. It's just wood combined in there, and now we've completed all of these, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, you're going to have 2 separate paths here for creating energy. We have a water wheel, and we have a windmill. The windmill is certainly not bad, and we'll probably end up creating one of these as well, just so we can showcase both and use both, you know, just to keep things interesting. But essentially, there's not too much of a difference. They might have a, let's see, kinetic stress capacity small. And I think this one is actually based on, yeah, how many wind sails or white sails you have up and running. Personally, I like the water mill better. It just looks better to me. Later on, we'll be getting into some immersive engineering, and I think the opposite is true for it. I think the windmills are better in immersive engineering, and I think the water wheels are worse. Just as far as look-wise, as far as functionality and productivity, I mean, you choose what you want to choose. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at this. So a water wheel is made simply by using a large cogwheel and surrounding it in 8 wooden slabs. And then if we check back over here, these we are going to have to save because I'm not going to remember this. This is slab, stone, shaft, and then the sails are typically, yeah, tough fabric and sail frames. Or, oh, okay, what's this? Andesite, 2 sticks, and wool. That's interesting. I don't know that I've seen that recipe before, but perhaps it's a simplification of it? Let's see. You have to have industrial hemp fiber to make it this way, right? We don't have hemp seeds yet. I think we're going to need grass if we want to get those, unless, you know, it unlocks from other means. But we can still get this with andesite alloys, sticks, and wool. We can produce all that, and that gives us 2. You need 8. Although realistically, I'd probably do more than 8. Probably would do somewhere closer to like 12 or 16 actually, so almost double that number. Now, did we save this recipe? We did. Okay. Sorry, sometimes the pop filter on my mic cuts off just the tiniest side corner of the screen over here. So that's good, fine, and dandy. We're gonna pop back up top really quick. We're gonna set up the water wheel first, and then we'll come back and set up the windmill. That being said, we're gonna need some slabs and one of these. And we're actually going to want more than just one water wheel, because obviously if the kinetic stress capacity is very small, well, we can increase that by adding more, right? Increasing the power that is being put in. So 1, and how many do we want? Typically I like to run with 4, so let's just go ahead and start there. If you need anything over 4, I feel like it's better to separate it. Does that make sense? It's better to just build a whole nother different contraption for it. So, and let's do this. Oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. Let's do this and create, oh, we already created our large ones. That's where it was messing up. I was trying to put the shafts in the middle, and I should have been putting the water wheels. All right, so now we have some shafts to work with. We have 1 small cogwheel. We're gonna need some more to actually set up our functioning thing here. So let's get ourselves 8 small and 8 large. And that'll just be a comfy sort of resting place for us. Now, let's see. Has it gotten into... No. I was looking for the conveyor, but it doesn't... Maybe there's just not a conveyor belt quest. Maybe they just suspect you to know it. I'm sure I'm missing something there. That's usually the case. It's usually the case. Anyways, conveyor belts are made with dried kelp, if I am remembering this correctly. Yeah, so dried kelp basically laid out like a wall, right? I think this is the same crafting recipe. And we will get ourselves... let's go for 8. We'll probably end up using all 8. If not now, then later. And alright, that should be all we need for really starting this off. That plus, we're going to need some warped warp blocks, right? Because this is what actually allows us to get water and the nether. So I believe that's it. Now we are going to accept our quest rewards here because it gives us a wrench for free, engineer goggles for free. I don't think any of the rest of these actually give you worthwhile. Yeah, it's all just C-bucks. So that being said, the wrench, well, I mean, you can hold shift for what it does, basically rotating, dismantling, all of that good stuff. Control allows you to see right-click, and sneaking right-click breaks, blah, blah, blah. The goggles we just got here, they can be very useful. They can be kind of annoying. We'll throw them on for now. Do they have to go on the head? They have to. This is on my second head slot, so we don't need that there. By the way, also this universal attractor actually started working for me yesterday, so I'm not sure if it just needed some time to power up or what, but yeah, it was working full-blown for me earlier, so hopefully it will continue to. We're also going to grab a couple of building blocks here, and I have just been building with the basic crimson stuff. I'm not super proud of it, but we're kind of limited. What did I do with my chisel? Hello? Chisel? What? Hello? Mr. Chisel? That's fine. Whatever. You know what? We're gonna check downstairs. If it's not there, we'll just make another one. No big deal. It could be in this chest. Sometimes, no. Just a whole lot of null shards in there, just for backup, you know, just in case. We're gonna end up finding the chisel later. By the way, if you're like, hey, Chance, I tried to make the chisel and this knife thing popped up, just go right above it to these little arrows. Click. Select what you want to craft. And same thing, if you're like, hey, Chance, I have the chisel on here, but I want that knife. Click and select. Boy, modded Minecraft has come such a long way. For anyone that was playing Minecraft modded back in, I don't know, even the 1.7 days, right? Like, it has come miles and miles and miles. So we're gonna have the base for it be here. 3, 1, 2, 3. Basically, chisel. I just want to check and see. Actually, let's use redwood for the complementary, shall we? Oh, and by the way, I had a mistake. I said wood couldn't be using the connected textures. Wood couldn't be using... That sentence don't make any sense. But you know what I'm saying. Wood can actually use connected textures, but if you're on the base block here, it won't appear because this doesn't have a connected texture because it's, I mean, technically already connected, right? It's only always ever connected. So if you select another version of the block, and this is better shown on a 3x3 scale here, then you can come down here and click on that, and that will allow you to have connected textures. So, speaking of which, we actually have a lot of what I want there already available, if I'm not mistaken. I crafted a whole lot of it previously, so let's see. La da 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 da. La da da da. Where did aha. So that should be good enough there. Let's throw some of this back because we're starting to get a bit cluttery. I don't like the feeling of clutter. Alright. So, with all that out of the way, move our chisel out of the way, and we'll throw some of these on the back here. Yeah, that looks nice. Very smooth. So what we'll probably do is just have our water wheels like so. Is that how I want them to go? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as we have the water going the correct way. So then what we're going to want to do is place down... we'll do warp blocks. I think that'll be good. Here. And actually what I should do as well is break one of these. Because you can actually do your water wheels like what you saw there, or you can do them in a different design, which I will show you right here. There. Like that. So, water wheels can be powered vertically or horizontally. We're not going to be doing it this way, but in case you're ever like, man, I really wish that I could turn this, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. And I believe that's actually max speed as well because you're hitting all sides of it. So, you know, that actually might be something to think about. Hold on. Let me see. What is our spin speed this way? When we just have one... And... run like so. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Okay, so it's the same speed, 256. And this is why the goggles are good, because it gives you the exact number, so you don't have to be like, oh, is this one faster? Is that one faster? Which one's better? You can just know for sure. So yeah, you can either use that method or this method. That method's a little hard to stack, right? It's a little hard to get running water like that on each layer all the way. So we are going to be sticking with this. And for now, I'm just going to plug that back up because I don't want running water everywhere. But this is essentially what we're doing just all the way down the line. Same thing over here. Just going to plug that up. That was just for demonstration purposes. Now, I have a question. If I was to... Okay, good. I was going to say, if I select to, you know, ultimine that, or whatever you want to call it, vein miner it, is it also going to select this? But no, they have it, I believe, NBT specific. So that's good. Alright, so yeah, we're going to need all of our water wheels in a line, the water going down the back, and then we just need stopper on the back and a stopper on the back. Like so. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, that's got to get going. Okay. So stopper, and then we'll pull this out and around. And out and around. And then what we'll do is actually break this. And all of this. To keep with the design theme, right? So we're going to do... that. That. And this will be where we pull our power out of, right? Our rotational force. So all that's good and out of the way. Let's go ahead and put some torches, even if our, mobs won't be spawning out here thanks to our torch. I still just like having things lit up. So now when I break these, it will start spinning the entire thing, and obviously stress goes down as it gets converted through. And we'll just keep pushing it, and there we go. Now all of them have the same stress capacity, however adding to them adds to the entire stress capacity of the machine as a whole, right? So this can, I'm not an engineer, and I'm probably not the best person to explain Create as far as how the power works. Look at the power. If it's working, great. If not, whatever. No. We'll get into a machine later in Create that actually it allows you to use maximum efficiency, and you don't have to worry about scaling with your gears, because here in the beginning, if you want to increase or decrease rotation speed, you have to use a combination of large and small. So you'll notice that this large one is moving at half the speed of the small one. This can be created in the same manner, and by the way, let's get our wrench out for breaking these. Shift and right click. And also, hold on, because we have, toggle on, that's just going to mess with me. If we were to swap the combination around and go large into small, you'll notice this one is moving twice as fast. Now, I think that green and blue thing there actually kind of tells you what's going on. So blue, oh no, because that one's green as well. Huh. Also, though, if you'll notice, our magnet is working, because even if we're all the way back here, if I break that, boom, immediately in my inventory. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it. Literally, that's all you need to do to create your first little source of power with Create. Very simple, right? Now, we're not going to get into the windmill quite yet because we do have a lot of this stuff to sort of move through, work through with this mod pack. We're eventually trying to get down here to the crushing wheel, and this actually, or not the alternator, hold on. Oh, you know what? I don't see it on this this page here, but there is a mechanical machine, basically, that you can get that does all the rotational speed for you. So, that being out of the way, we're going to dive into casings. Casings are really simple, fun stuff, and they allow you to basically create these gearboxes, different machines, all that good stuff. The depot, I don't ever use depots, if I'm being honest with you. Anyway, so casing is always made the same, either with the deployer, which we'll get into and create later, or by manual deployment. So you can take an andesite alloy and right-click it on any stripped log, and kablamo, andesite casing. Now, we are going to want some number of these, so let's go ahead and take 12, and we'll do that. Let's see, what's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Whoops, whatever. And then we'll just take our andesite alloy. One thing I really like about the casings is they naturally have connected textures, so... Oh, I think it might be faster to, just vein mine them. Anyways, quest complete. Now it's wanting us to get into smashing our stuff down. The fan is going to allow us to start washing stuff, which is good. This is how we get into immersive engineering, essentially, with blast bricks and coke bricks. But I think we might want to go straight for the crushing wheel. Ooh, we're going to have to go through mechanical crafters as well. Okay, so to power the mechanical crafters, that's probably when we'll use the windmill, since it has a higher stress capacity there. Right? Up to 8,000. Yeah, so that should be good for the mechanical crafter. Of course, we also have the steam boiler over here, which I've not used a whole lot, pretty much ever, because I generally just go straight for the... the motor. You know what I'm talking about if you played Create before. Anyways, let's take a look at the mechanical press. We're going to need a block of iron, andesite casing, and a shaft. That's all really simple, and I should actually make ourselves a crafting table out here as well. Can you turn these into... No? I was going to see if we could have a default crafting table. Well, that's fine. And we'll just throw it in the floor here. We may make another one to place on the other side, but that's fine for now. So let's just... Oh, right. Block of iron first. block of iron, andesite, and a shaft. And again, if you're not sure what a machine does, hold W on it and it will tell you. Most things are pretty obvious. This is a deployer. It has a large, flat, sort of hammering surface. You put items in there as it's showing, and they slam down to create sheets in this case. Some mod packs have it be different things, and obviously with the conveyor belts, this stuff can be automated. We haven't gotten to these funnels quite yet, but we will in just a bit. Of course, I guess you don't necessarily need a funnel all the time. Sometimes it will auto extract, but for the large majority, you do need a funnel system. Apparently, you can also compact items by putting it into a basin here. So that's cool. Put in the iron or the copper bars, and you get a copper block. So, any hoosers, now that we have that, and essentially, yeah, you just plug the machine in, and there you go, right? Now, the key with create, if you're new to it, is to create multiple uses for your thing. So, for example, and this will just be a very rough example. Let's say we have something here. Why is this not? Why is this not placing on? Hello? There's something I am missing. Oh, it broke? I'm not even getting those back. Oh, man, so that's got to be a bug, right? Whoops, I guess I should have been looking at that. Whatever, it's fine. We'll just create some more. So, yeah, shafts. I guess be careful. That's got to be some kind of bug. What if I take off the goggles? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I say be careful with the goggles. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. But anyways, what we were trying to actually showcase there is I wanted to show y'all a quick little example of how you can split power, right? So if we... Well, that's not right. Say we have a shaft up here and a shaft down here. We can take one of these mechanical belts. We can take one of these mechanical belts and connect them. Oh, this isn't out far enough. So yeah, you just right-click on one, right-click on the other. Why is this? Oh. And voila. What you can do from there then is take out power from both of these sides, right? So, quick little basic create tutorial, I guess, just in case you're absolutely new to it and you need some advice or some help, right? So now let's see what we're actually going to be doing with this stuff, because sure, we got the mechanical press. We can now start boinking some iron sheets. Are we going to need iron sheets for the mixer? And we'll need the mixer for crafting electron tubes. The tubes, of course, we need for the mechanical crafters themselves. Now the living fireplace. Okay, that's not bad at all. The blaze burner, though, we need a blaze cake. That's where things start to get interesting. Is it in the mod pack here somewhere? Or the quest pack, possibly? No. They don't tell you how to actually... Oh, wait. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Blaze burners can provide heat. It's processed in a basin. For this, the blaze has to be fed with flammable items. No, this is talking about blaze cake in that manner. It's not telling you how to put the blaze in there, though. Okay, what about on this one? Can you ponder this? Yes? Right-click a blaze with an empty burner to capture it. There you go. Oh, you can collect them from their spawners. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Okay. Oh, interesting. Look at this. You learn something new every day. And yeah, you can't actually heat with that. Okay, so for the blazes, you can take them straight out of the spawner. I did not even realize that. But it looks like we're going to be getting into some pretty basic iron sheet smacking here. Now, let me ask you a question, Modpack, if that is your real name. When do we get the tunnels? When do we get the actual ability to automate this stuff? Because I'm pretty sure right now we don't have much in the way of automation. If I'm being honest with you. We'll see, though. So we're going to start by outing that and that. And this can be our base layer here. Is that what we want our base layer to be? I think I want it one lower. So we'll have base here, and we'll have the press up here. So then just right off the bat, we'll connect like this. And if you're curious, like, hey, will this work? Generally in Create, if it looks like it will work, probably will. Oh, actually, you know what? We should probably speed up our whole export thing here before we start taking power out of it, right? Because this is going to make everything go super slow. So to do that, we can go large to small. Large. Well, let's go out one so we're not breaking the machine and not having to go up in a weird way. But if we go out one here and then just same thing, large to small. And this is a really simple way of allowing you to pull power from the same spot. You see what I mean? Like the same block location, just a little bit forward and moving it faster. And yeah, you just go large to small over and over again. I think increasing it just twice there should be plenty. We don't want to overstress the machine any, right? So then let's put a block here, block there. Then we want to... Oh, you know what? We're going to have to come forward one, right? I always do this with the various shafts for some reason. I'm like, yep, this is it. Nope, got to go forward. What we should have done then is place these block and this block above and under this cog. Like that. And voila. Now we're cooking with grease. And then if we want to get our bottom conveyor going, we do something kind of like this. Now, I tend to use more materials than required in Create just to make the process look clean, if you're asking me personally, right? So what we're going to do is have our little mechanical press sit right there. And now you can see sort of how our machine comes together, right? Now, I believe for early stages, what we can do is just put a hopper. Can you hopper directly onto these? Let's see. Yes, you can. And it presses. And now this is, I was about to say, just going to pop it off. But what we can actually do is put a chest there, I think. Let's see. No, because we don't have the funnels yet, so we can't actually import into the chest. If I put it on the edge of the thing here, will it pop it into... somehow I'm still doubting that, but let's give it a test go. Smack. Yeah, still pops it off. So we're going to need funnels to push that into, right? And these funnels, does it mention it in the quest pack? Sorry, I keep checking back, but I'm like trying to refer everybody to the quest pack. So if it's not telling you about this stuff, then I feel kind of bad, right? So yeah, funnels aren't in here either. That's all right. Funnels are basically like your hoppers for Create, if that makes any bit of sense. So let's take a... Oh, we need dried kelp. Alas, the one thing we haven't grabbed. I should also add one of these vines to our Create side over there so we don't have to keep running one of these other sides. Yeah, let's go grab some... Uh-oh. Flipped around here. Dried kelp, and then andesite funnel. We'll start with 2 for right now. That means actually we probably shouldn't need this hopper either. Right? Do 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 do. Ba da ba da bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Now what we can do is... Oh, shucks. Now what we can do is place one there and place one there. And this, if I'm not mistaken, pulls it out automatically and imports it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first automated create machine to a degree. Obviously, you have to import the materials in there and pull out the exports. But you understand, hopefully, how this whole mod and system works and how we'll be using it moving forward. Now, we're probably just going to leave the goggles off unless I need to specifically check the stress of the machine, right? Like if we were to put it back on here, then you can see the stress impact that our, what's it called, it's going to have. But of course, if each of our wheels is producing, you know, the 256 or whatever that it says, then we have, what, close to a little bit over 1,000. And this is only pulling 500, so I don't know. Cogwheels and all this stuff, they don't actually pull anything out of the machine, right? Which is unrealistic, obviously, but hey, you can't get everything perfect, and you don't want everything to be perfect like real life. Then you get into annoying efficiency and heat and friction, all that good stuff. Anyways, let's move on down. Oh, so we can't even get to the mechanical mixer without getting... Oh, the basin. Right, okay. And that's simply because you have to put the mixer in something, right? House of operations, basins are pretty cool, not gonna lie. And now we can get to the mixer. Okay. So that's fairly simple there. That's fairly simple there. We're gonna need some more of these andesite alloys. We're probably gonna need some more andesite in general, but that's okay. We've just been letting our a little machine over there run, so we should be pretty close to full chest of that that burnt stone, or whatever the heck it's called, scorched stone, I believe. But for the time being, we do have a whole stack of andesite here, and a stack of iron nuggets there. So we just combine them together, voila. And now I believe the whisk was like this, right? Oh wait, did I do that opposite? This, yeah, okay. So there's the whisk, and then we're gonna need the mixer, which is just the casing and a cogwheel. Okay. Cogwheel, whisk, not casing, casing. There we are. It's all about the mix. You got that right. And essentially we can just keep doing this. We can build another machine for a mixer and so on and so forth. Eventually we'll get to power sources where we can probably put more than one machine on it. And honestly, this one could probably hold 2 machines. I'm sure the mixer doesn't take that much mechanical power. Let's see. Oh, right. You have to do this with cogs. I really just want to see if this machine can handle a mixer. So... That ain't gonna work. What is it, the large one that connects with this? In a diagonal? There's little nuances with Create that you just sort of have to either figure out or look up or see somebody do. But you can actually turn... Maybe I'm down one too far. You can actually turn these without using a gearbox. Typically, you got to use a gearbox in order to turn power. Is it directly in front of it that it has to be done? Seems a bit specific. That doesn't work either. Alright, you know what? I give up. I don't know. But we can create a gearbox and turn this, so it's not a big deal. And all this was just for the sake of science. So let's just break all this down and leave that as is. So, now we have our mixer and all that. We're going to be looking into electron tubes, but we're going to need to polish it with sandpaper. Oh, right, to get the rose quartz. Sandpaper is pretty easy. It's paper and sand. Don't know what else we would expect it to be. But we are going to go ahead and, I guess, get that. What we need to do is set up a series of machines here. So what we could do, and we'll probably end up destroying a lot of this in the future. Now that gearbox that we were talking about from earlier, right here. Casing and 4 cogwheels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of these recipes are vanilla create, so that's good. Gearbox, and then you can turn it into a vertical gearbox, and you can always turn it back as well. The vertical gearbox is going to allow us to do is pull up and down out of it, right? So we could do something like that. So this is 256, that's 512, so yeah, we'll definitely have enough power to do both these on the same thing here, and that's basically all I wanted to check. So... Sorry, I'm not sure how that warp block got up there, but I don't want it up there, so... now, this is going to be messy in the beginning because we're going for a little bit of efficiency with this, right? So we have our machine working back here. We're going to pop this forward some and probably go up with it. If I put that there... I think that's actually the layer that we wanted on, right? So let's see, 1, 2, and we want this. So we'd have... Oh, actually, no. I always forget this. So it'd be like that, right? And then on the sides here, what you would do is something more along the lines of... Oh, that's my axe. That's not going to work. This. Alright. And what you can do is put another funnel on whatever side you want to import to, and obviously the basin will have an auto export on the side that doesn't have the tunnel. So that's all nice, fine, and dandy. And now it's basically just a matter of like making sure that we can get power, so we can pull power down this way if we wanted to. And then maybe hit another gearbox here. Let's see. We're gonna need some more small gears. That's fine. 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, and 4. Oh wait, it has to be vertical, huh? Does that only put out from that side? Yeah. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I guess what we could do from there is like this. And if you need to pick something up off of one of the belts, just have an empty hand and right click. Pretty simple. Alright, so that's literally this whole machine is now powered up. If we were to put a chest here, a funnel there, a chest there, and obviously more funnels, we can pretty much automate this whole crafting experience here. So now we have our first 2 create machines set up in a line, and this is kind of why we set this up in a line. Although now I am kind of regretting having put our crafting table down there. That's alright, you know. It comes and it goes. But we can still actually technically use it, so it's not a huge deal. Let's get some more chests here. 1, 2. And the funnels. How did you make the funnels? That's just a depot. You know what? They're right over here. Oh, dried kelp, right. So we're actually going to need 3 of these. It'd be chest, funnel. Ooh. Oh no, that's right. Oh shucks. I always forget this with basins, but to auto insert into them, you don't funnel on the side, I don't think. Can you? Hold up. Can you funnel on the side? Oh shucks, chance. Let's see. Oh, you can! Wow. Well, I've been making this harder on myself for a very long time. I always thought you had to dump it into the basin, which will work, by the way. Say this conveyor belt was, you know, at the same level of the basin, then when the items came off the conveyor belt, they would just dump into the basin. So, little mistake on my part here, but it's fine. You don't need the andesite funnels here. If you just dump into, and then you have your export, you know, like here, that would be fine as well. But if we were going to do that, we would literally have to send this conveyor up one layer just to get it to go out. Which, if we used another gearbox here, another vertical gearbox, we could pull out the back and essentially do the same thing we've done here, just up a layer. But I kind of like the smoothness of this. I kind of like how it all looks, so it's fine. We'll leave it. And there we go. Awesome. Now, the mixer, we're going to need to create the electron tubes, aren't we? Oh, no? What do we need the freaking mixer for, then? Creating rose quartz. Okay, that makes sense. So we're going to need red dye, pink dye, and null shards to create rose quartz. Alright, so these two we already know how to get, right? Pink dye. Oh, we can also mix. We can mix it. White and red. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Can we start getting into mixing some of this? We can crush. There is also the milling thing from Create, and you'll notice it kind of has a gear thing on the side. You can automate this, so that's probably what we're about to get into then, I guess. Millstone. This just requires a cogwheel, casing, and a piece of stone. We're going to have to go back up top for that. What we're attempting to do here with Create is replace some of the basic functions that we had to do early in the pack, like the pestle and mortar and the cutting board, with automation, essentially, right? So let's get a piece of stone here. And what are we missing? Oh, cogwheel. And there we go. Are we going to need hoppers to do this? I feel like yes. I feel like you do need hoppers for the millstone. If I'm ever wrong about something with Create, by the way, feel free to point it out. Let me know. Alright. That should be fun. Okay. Boink. And just to test. So this is also 256. So we should be pretty close to our limit with 512, 256, and 256. But yeah. Oh, you can also apparently power this from the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. So now we basically just need a way to pull out from this machine here, which of course we can do off the front of this. And how do we want to put power into our machine here? I guess we'll need a gearbox, right? Which means we're going to need a couple more, well, shafts for one. Also a couple more cogwheels. And we still have plenty of casing there, so that's good. And voila, the gearbox. I think if we turn this into a vertical gearbox, we could technically just place this right on top. What I think might be better... Now, again, I'm not sure if the hoppers work, but we're about to learn this together. If we can hopper into the millstone here. Because I'm pretty sure you can't belt into it. So, what's some kind of basic recipe here for the millstone? Oh boy, that was a mistake. Let's see. Red dye, maybe? Just put some beetroot in there. And there was something else. We're going to need white dye as well, so we might as well grab that while we're up top here. What was white dye? Was it... Is it diorite or is it calcite? Calcite. Okay. So we'll just grab... We'll grab 16. Not sure how much of this we're actually going to need. And then red dye is going to be beetroots. We got 6. We're going to have to start growing this stuff soon. Can we grow this stuff? Do we have access to dirt? Sand plus slag. Coarse dirt. Sand and slag. So that's probably not going to be happening anytime soon. Oh, maybe alchemy. Maybe alchemy is when we get into it. Or soul sand plus cleansing water, huh? And give us coarse dirt. Okay, and soul sand we can get from scoria. So actually we can get dirt now if we wanted. But anyways, I digress. Let's just throw the calcite in there. And yeah, you can automate this. So if we look at the bottom here, we got bone meal. Oh, that's so nice. Automated dyes. No more having to use that mortar and pestle and mortar, however you want to say it. It just all goes correctly. And technically, if we wanted to, we could have this millstone feed the bone meal into another millstone to create the dye. Right? I think it just popped out the rest of that. Yeah. That's fine. Now we'll throw in some this, and it should give us some red dye. Beautiful. And if we wanted to throw a chest on top of this so we could expand the inventory, and likewise a chest in front of this so we could expand the inventory, that is all very, very doable. I don't know why I didn't just make multiple chests from the beginning. Anytime you're dealing with automation, just make like 1,000 chests and then you're good. You're good to go. Alright, so there we go. And yeah, if we combine these two together now in our mixer, all should be swell. Now, the only thing that I am a little worried about is if we just toss them both in like that, yeah, it's going to feed all the white dye and then all the red dye, and it's not going to actually create, is it? Huh? Oh, maybe. Oh, very nice. Alright, so there we go. We have our pink dye. Pretty automated as well, right? Technically, you could even feed out of this chest into this chest, and then you just have a full-blown system going, right? So there is our pink dye task completed. Now, obviously, in order to get to rose quartz, we're going to need pink dye, red dye, and null shards. So the process does continue, and it seems like we're going to need a whole lot of red dye. Is there another way for us to get this mystical, magical red dye that you speak so heavily of? Besides just, okay, alchemy. Cutting board on a sea beet, which we don't currently have. And then, yeah, no, just using actual beets. There are roses and stuff later, but is there a quick way to get beets? Growing and throwing. Growing and throwing. Alright, well, that's fine. We're probably going to take a break here and craft up all the pink dye we need, all the red dye we need, organize our inventory, because we just did a whole lot of machine building and getting things set up, right? So this is all kind of muddled. We may either dismantle this later on, or we may leave it as like a, hey, look at what we did way back when. You remember that big old catastrophe? But as you can see, it all works very well. You know, it's all moving and running smoothly and quickly. So this is a good general, I guess, guide to how you can not only get your machines moving, but also how you can increase the speed and make sure they're all still comfortable within that speed. Anyways, we're going to take a short break here and, like I said, get stuff crafted up. Alright. So I have made the materials required in order for us to continue here. The rest of the pink dye, some more red dye, and some null shards. I just had to go wash some more stone to get some more beetroot, or do the whole lava sieve method. You know what I mean. I had to go get some more beetroot. Anyways, we do have enough now, and we're going to be tossing this into our basin here in order to get our quartz. So we just throw all of them in. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work because it's basically going to load up all one item at a time, and then all of the next item, and then all of the last item. So we'll see. Basically, will this, yeah, looks like it. And there it goes, rose quartz. Now, the other piece of the puzzle that we're going to need here is some sand paper. This stuff is easy enough to acquire. It's simply sand and paper. So there's some sand there. Or, I mean, there's some paper there, and there's some sand. Now, if we simply sugarcane to paper, paper there, sand there, voila. Now, let's pop on down here. This stuff should be done. Probably take these out. And yeah, whatever gets put in there, take out as well. So we have our 10 rose quartz here. We have our sandpaper. What you're going to want to do is put your sandpaper in your offhand, put your rose quartz in your main hand, and just hold right click. We may have to make another piece of sandpaper. I didn't realize the durability was going to be this low. Yeah. Gotta state, unfortunately, we need 9. So, we'll go ahead and create 10 just because we can. So there we go. Some sandpaper. Some rose quartz. And the last piece of the puzzle that we need is going to be some iron sheets. I believe we need 9 iron sheets. Now, once we complete this recipe here, we're kind of at a standstill, and I'll explain exactly what I mean here in just a minute. We just need some iron. And I believe we already have some stamped out down here. Alright, oh, okay, hold on. This conveyor belt's carrying me away. What did I do with my, you know, it doesn't matter. We'll find it later, and that'll be good enough. We need 9 in here. And this should work relatively quickly, right? You know what, while that's going, I have no idea what we did with our 9 iron sheets. Or 7. I think we made 7 preemptively. Oh, you know what? We probably used it on the whisk. And, maybe this thing? Maybe the mechanical mixer? Let's see. There they are. Alright. Now, I think we can do this in a 2x2 grid, just like that. Indeed, there's our electron tubes. Tubes for electrons. Pretty self-explanatory. And then last but not least, we're going to need to do our mechanical crafter. However, this is where we actually hit a standstill because we can't quite get into brass casings because we need brass. Same concept as before. You take a brass ingot and slap it onto a stripped log of any kind, and it will give you the casing. However, in order for us to get brass, we have to get to a living fireplace, I believe, because brass is made in a mixing table that is heated, which means we have to get a blaze burner. So we are going to have to go, oops, didn't mean to pin that, sort of off here to the side and go through the living fireplace and on around. That being said, that's probably going to come in next episode. We'll be setting up a new create energizing station, basically using the windmill instead on the next one. Again, just to showcase a different system. We're basically going to build a large platform like this, straight out that way, and kind of wash, rinse, repeat. Again, create power, stations in front of it, as many as we can possibly load up onto one machine there. And we're also going to be diving into this hose pulley, which allows you to actually suck up liquids. And I think this is really cool. So let's try to skip to actual example of this. There we go. So you can either push liquids out, which is really cool, or you can suck them in, and it will drain the pool. Now, if you have a pool large enough, it doesn't actually drain from it. It'll just infinitely suck, and I'm thinking that's what, you know, this down here is going to be considered. But basically what that will allow us to do is to infinitely power our living fireplace. Because these blaze burners, they do need fuel, right? And they provide heat to basins. They also provide heat to our steam boiler, which we'll be getting into as well. But yes, you can see it can be fed flammable items, blaze cake. But if we go over here, you can give it a straw and actually feed it liquid items as well. So my plan is to get a blaze burner, give it a straw, and then pump infinite lava into it for infinite fuel. So all that will be happening in our next episode. Also, you know, we're getting into the full-blown automation stuff. This is where mod packs, excuse me, get very interesting. Also over here to the right, top, left. I don't know what you want to consider this. I was going right from the hose pulley, but it's actually left from the quest thing. So item pipes, these, however you want to say this, right, is in the mod pack. However, they've gone back and changed the texture to sort of make it thematic. The cost has also been incredibly changed here. Not too terrible, honestly. Copper. The coal shards we can already have access to. So all of this is like very doable, right? But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for having joined me on this episode of Cryptopolis. There we go. There it is. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section what your favorite part of this video was, or perhaps how you're using Create in your own worlds. Of course, subscribe for more awesome content from yours truly if you're new here. Share this out with friends, family, family of the friends, and friends of the family. As per the usual, I hope you stay safe, stay awesome, stay crafting. And until next time, peace out.